So I'm really, really happy and very grateful to have Louise on tonight just to talk about her experience with IEMT, which was pretty unique, Louise, right?
I think
Um,
that's an understatement.
so thank you so much for coming on, Louise. I
No.
really, really appreciate it. So how did you find me? How do we start the process of IEMT? Because we had a bit of a journey before that, didn't we?
Uh-huh. So obviously I had first met you through the cacao circles.
Hmm.
I think that was the first thing in the root and gather at the wee retreat.
Hmm.
Then I came for Reiki with you once
That's
before as
right.
well,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was wonderful. And then we decided to give the integral eye movement a try because
Yeah.
I'd got some quite deep-rooted trauma
Hmm. Yeah.
um, through various things that's happened in my life, and we thought we would try it, and that's what we did.
Just to see if we could, just see what we could move for you. Because I know there were
Uh-huh.
some things that you were struggling with. And I think the biggest thing was there was a lot of concern that you'd have to talk an awful lot about what had been going on. And I mean, we literally didn't do any talking at all, really, did we?
No, I find it quite hard to put into words everything that's kind of happened.
Yeah.
But I
So,
must admit, I was a bit sceptical of the because I thought, how does that work? How is that going to work? Because I had Googled it and everything before, I obviously
of
came to you and
course.
everything, and read that you'd sent me through all the information about it beforehand. So
Mm.
I read all that and I'm thinking, I will give it a go.
I
Very sceptical.
think it's good to have a little bit of healthy skepticism anyway. So we just did the one session really, didn't we? 'Cause it was just
Yep.
kind of just to see how we went and to see how you felt afterwards. So
Mm-hmm.
and we probably did about an hour and a half session. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we worked on like two or three major memories. So can you tell me a little bit about how you felt during the session, what happened?
Right. So I turned up at your house feeling full of beans. I did a good morning, a good after, good healthy breakfast, and all the rest of it. I came along and we started. I picked probably one of my worst sort of traumatic memories. I wanted to start with a biggie,
Hmm.
and more or less in about 10, 15 seconds of you starting it, I started feeling very, very sick. And I remember saying to you, Emma, I'm starting to feel a bit sick. And you says, oh, that sometimes happens. You can feel a wee bit queasy.
Took a
And
little
then I was
breath
like,
and got back
uh-huh.
into it.
Then I was like, I'm actually going to be sick. I remember running to the bathroom and I was
Yeah.
so violently sick. Like I've not been as violently sick as that in a long, long time.
And it really, because we kind of checked in with you afterwards and we were like, is that
Mhm.
okay? Obviously worked in
Yeah.
healthcare, so nothing really, really phases me anyway. And it is true, a lot of people do feel that nausea, but what normally after a couple of eye movements that kind of eases and softens. But I think this was really deep for you, and you
Mhm.
literally used one word, didn't you, for your memory? You just
Yep.
used the one
It was
word.
a total purge.
Yeah,
That's what it
it
felt
was
like.
really like a clearing, wasn't it? And I was
Yeah.
kind of not worried because we supported you in that as
Hmm.
well and made sure that you felt like you could take a breath
Hmm.
and we
I know
checked in.
you said to me, do you want to continue? And I knew in my head and in my heart definitely that this was a good thing.
Yeah,
This was going to release everything that that memory within me that was I knew it was going to get rid of it.
yeah.
So I
And we
wanted to
really only
continue with it.
we only really well, I think it was like three memories and we did the second one and we checked
Hmm.
in, had some water, got back into the body, came back into the space and we checked in with you and you were like, no, I've got another one that I really want to
Hmm.
work on. So we got you something beside you so you didn't feel unsafe.
Yes. Yep.
Um and then we did another one. Same thing, one word. Yeah, is that right?
Yep. Yep. Definitely. And same thing happened.
It did get
And
easier
I
though,
think
right?
we just kept continuing when we were just sitting there in a bowl,
I think no,
which
I think
was
we kind of towards the end it got easier. I think it was only just that initial part of it. And then after that, we kind of got you back in and into the body a little bit, didn't we? But they were really deep memories for you. Um, And after that, I think it eased. I think, you were quite,
Yeah. Mhm.
we got you some water and sorted you out. But it was kind of a bit of a, I've known people that have been nauseous, but I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Obviously, it's really normal to get burps and big yawns, and we can feel a lot through the body when we're releasing. So, how did you feel the rest of the day after that, Louise? Because we kind of guided you to go home, settle, breathe, just be with the
I
dogs and
no,
stuff.
I just remember getting into my car and I felt a lot lighter. I felt as
Mm,
if a weight had been lifted off of me. And
yeah,
driving over the road back, back home and everything, and felt quite sleepy that night. Um, I wouldn't say I had a good sleep that night. I was kind of tossing and turning that night, but I don't really sleep well anyway. But
mm,
I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, I'm going to be absolutely shattered. I'm going to go to my bed, fall asleep, and wake up at 12 o'clock the next day." But I didn't. I didn't. I had a bit of a restless sleep. But when I got up in the morning, to be honest with you, I couldn't even hardly remember what the memories were. I had
wow,
to really think about them, and I thought, well, I don't want to think about them because the point of it was to get rid of it. So I'm not going
mm.
to remind myself what it was. But I had to really think, what was that again that we were talking about yesterday?
Yeah.
It's
What
a,
did we really work on? Because it was
I
it was
know
really
it
embedded.
was
Yeah,
on really, really fantastic. And since then, I've hardly thought about those three memories. They've,
yeah,
they're,
that's great.
they don't affect me the same way they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you'd had a lot going on at that time as well, hadn't you? A lot of change in your own life, a bit of a bereavement, and it was really tricky time for you too.
yeah,
And I think this is what was, you just felt like, oh, I can't move forward. Everything was kind of keeping you stuck. Does that sound?
yeah, definitely. Because
Mm,
I always I feel it very much in my throat. I feel as if I can't get the words to say how I feel about things. And although that was a memory and it was something I would never ever actually talk about. So I wasn't physically talking about to you what
mm.
happened, and
Or afterwards either.
you don't
Yeah.
even nobody knows what these memories are because I
Hmm.
will never speak about them out loud. But they don't have the same power.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
have that power or that hold over me that they had.
Mm.
You
And
know.
so, how have you been since that one session?
I've been fine. I mean, as you said, I've been through a terrible bereavement, losing my mum. Um, I've not. That was before that actually. I lost my
Mm.
mum after that.
Yeah.
I suppose things move on, really, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still hard. But it's not as things aren't as hard as what they were. Finding other ways to cope.
Yeah. There'd
Different
been, I
things.
mean, I know like with your mum, there'd been a lot of kind of loss and a lot of extra care and attention that you'd really had to give her
Mm-hmm.
during that time, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of
Yeah.
tiring as much as anything as well on the
Mm-hmm.
body, isn't it? And stressful for you and your family to kind
Amazing
of
what your body can cope with as well, isn't it?
it really is. It really is. So what has kind of changed it for you in your life? How I know, like you say, the memories don't have that power over you anymore. So have you been able to, make more positive changes in your life?
Yeah. Well, I met someone. It's just had a huge
Lovely.
impact. I think that's probably one of the biggest things, I think, for me.
That's lovely. So nice new relationship.
New relationship. I'm probably doing a lot more yoga than I did before, which is
Mhm.
really helping. I'm
Yeah.
probably doing a wee bit less meditations. I think I was over meditating.
Hmm.
I think, I was maybe doing 3 or 4 a day at one
Yeah.
point,
Yeah. Just
which
trying to
is
keep everything calm.
so
And you
I'm not
kind of
doing that as much.
cold water dipping as well now, is that right?
Started my cold water dipping, which has been absolutely outstanding for my mental health.
Yeah.
Um, Yesterday I was in, it was 1 degree, I was in for 7 minutes, and
Amazing.
you just feel so calm, and it's been a huge help for me. And
Yeah. And the
I've
nice,
met some nice people through it as well.
yeah, that's a lot of it, isn't it? It's having that community kind of support as well and being able to connect more
Yeah.
deeply to people. And so, if I could ask you kind of one word about how you felt before the session and one word about, how you feel now.
Transformational,
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
definitely.
Just the one way. That's
transformational.
brilliant. Yeah, I know. It's just lovely to see you looking so much lighter, Louise. You know, it's a big kind of period of stress and a lot of trust put in me. And there were big movements for you. So I'm really, really grateful to have had you
No, I
come on and
appreciate
share
everything
that.
you've done for me and still do for me, and I
Have that
appreciate it.
lovely retreat as well to look forward to next year. And this,
I know.
so
It's
they're
amazing
beautiful.
last year.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
was. I loved every
excellent.
minute of it. Because I'm not the most sociable a sociable person either. You know, it was out with my comfort zone to
Yeah.
come to the retreat. And I was like quite nervous about it, but everybody was just lovely and everybody got on so well and the food was amazing and all the different classes were amazing and
You
the
settled in just
sounds
fine.
and I know it was brilliant. It was so good. Can't wait for the next one.
Brilliant. And, it's really lovely, to feel that a lot of that stuff was kind of keeping you a bit locked up, a bit kind of guarded, but that kind of those gentle openings that are happening for you now of kind of new relationship particularly, but a new community and, being
Yeah,
open to new
definitely.
experiences too, which is lovely. So thank you very, very much for sharing that experience with me because I know it wasn't an easy experience, but I think really important to just show, what the body holds and how much it can shift. So thank you,
Yeah.
Louise, for joining me. I'm
I
really,
think
really grateful.
out of all the different therapies that I've had, Emma, that's the one that's worked the best for me.
That's
And
brilliant.
I mean, I had done lots of things. I've read lots of things. I've tried everything.
Mm,
But I think out of everything, that was the biggest shift in my life was the
that's so good to
IEMT.
know. So the
I think
experience
so.
wouldn't stop you from having it again if something came.
No, no. Hopefully, I just don't have any more big, massive,
Uh,
traumatic things happen
Fingers
to me.
crossed. I think that'd be
Totally.
really good. But those, I mean, I know that IMT works on a lot more than just memories, but those were like really difficult ones for you. And it's so nice to think that you haven't had to talk about them. It's just done out of the way, and now you process them in your own way and with the support that you need, which is really important.
I just don't have that power over me now,
Yeah, lovely. That's great.
which is amazing.
Thank you so much, Louise. I really appreciate you joining me.
Thank you.